What is up, my friends? Believe it or not, it is already time for a Bournemouth preview here on Anfield Agenda. The Reds travel down to the Vitality for a 5:30 kickoff on Saturday evening, which means we'll be live here on the channel from 4:15 to take you through our watch along, our match reaction, and of course our player ratings video. We'll also be recording an episode of the Anfield Agenda podcast late on Saturday night, so do keep an eye out for that dropping on Sunday. What we're going to do over the next few minutes is go through and give you a bit of a preview, looking at my proposed 11 for the game. We'll give you a score prediction. We'll talk injuries, a bit of a fact file on our opponent, as well as their recent form coming into the game. And we'll give you the referees and the officials that are going to be taking us through it. Sound good? Well, feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you do, don't forget to hit that like button. But for now, let's get cracking. So, injury-wise, well, what we don't know is what the situation is with Federico Chiesa as I sit here now to record this. He felt something that he'd felt in training on Tuesday, which kept him out of the starting 11 and, again, ruled him out of playing against Marseille. So we don't know if he'll be available. We do know, of course, Mohamed Salah is back. We're still none the wiser on the Ibrahim Konate situation, so I've gone for Joe Gomez at centre-back just in case. And other than that, ladies and gentlemen, it is the long-term absentees that we've always had. No Alexander Isak, no Conor Bradley, and of course no Giovanni Leone. So with that in mind, let's have a look now at the officials for the game. Then we'll give you a fact file on our opponents, and then we'll have a look at their form. So, officials for the game, ladies and gentlemen. Your referee is Michael Salisbury. Assistants, Mark Perry and Simon Long. Fourth official, Andrew Kitchen. VAR, John Brooks. And assistant VAR, Simon Bennett. And again, a reminder, it's a 5:30 kickoff at the Vitality. So, Bournemouth have conceded 52 goals in their 17 Premier League games against Liverpool, and against no side have they shipped more. They've also conceded 52 against Manchester City, but we're right up there, the highest scorers against Bournemouth. Liverpool have won 12 of their last 13 Premier League games against Bournemouth, with the exception being a 1-0 away defeat in March back in 2023. Bournemouth have lost 10 of the last 11 Premier League games against the reigning champions, with the exception being a 2-1 home win against Manchester City last season. Head-to-head wise, Premier League 25-26, it looked a little bit like this. Liverpool 4, Bournemouth 2 at Anfield. In the reverse fixtures last year, it was Bournemouth 0, Liverpool 2 at the Vitality, and Liverpool 3, Bournemouth 0 at Anfield. Here's Bournemouth's form coming into this one. The recent games was Brighton 1, Bournemouth 1 in the Premier League. They were beaten on penalties by Newcastle after a 3-3 draw in the FA Cup. In the Premier League, they beat Spurs by 3-2 at the Vitality. They were defeated, though, at the Vitality by Arsenal by the same scoreline, Arsenal winning out 3-2. And then in the Premier League at Stamford Bridge, it was Chelsea 2, Bournemouth 2. So that is their form, and fair to say it's mixed. We are on a currently unbeaten run of 13, 7 wins and 6 draws in it. So hopefully we can make that 8 and 6 at the weekend. So now let's have a look at my predicted 11, ladies and gentlemen, before we finish up with a score prediction, and I'll walk you through it. So we'll start off with the goalkeeper and the centre-backs, as we always do. I did mention I'm going to go with Joe Gomez alongside our captain Virgil van Dijk. We don't know what the situation is with Ibrahim Konate, but of course we do wish him and his family nothing but the very best. And either way, I'd probably go with Gomez for this one, because I'm a big believer in somebody coming in playing well. They keep their shirt in their position. So Alisson in goal, Joe Gomez and Virgil van Dijk are the centre-backs for me in this one. Now we move into the full-back positions. Don't think there's going to be too many surprises here for anybody. Kirkes and Frimpong. Now, I did think about Andy Robertson, but it feels like the Carabao game coming up the following Wednesday is a perfect one that we could drop Andy Robertson in to get him some much-needed minutes and, of course, keep him in rhythm. I would stick with Milos Kirkes for this one. Both of our fullbacks were absolutely exceptional away against Marseille. Both of them put in tremendous performances. So the back five, Alisson Becker in goal, Jeremy Frimpong at right back, Milos Kirkes at centre back, and Ibrahim Konate and Joe Gomez. Virgil van Dijk and Joe Gomez in the centre-back positions. Now, folks, into midfield, and it looks a little bit like this. So what I've gone for is Gravenberch and Jones to be in the deeper lying positions, with Dominic Szoboszlai through the centre ahead of them. So Curtis Jones and Ryan Gravenberch deeper, and then Dominic Szoboszlai ahead. The wide positions, what have I done here? Have I thrown back in Cody Gakpo? Will Mohamed Salah start? Well, here's what I reckon. I'm going to go for Mohamed Salah on the right-hand side and Florian Wirtz on the left. Now look, there is a world where Wirtz and Szoboszlai can rotate and move between, but that is the three that I would put in behind the striker. Mohamed Salah obviously returned, probably should have had himself a goal against Marseille. Didn't have his shooting boots with him, but I hope he has them with him at the Vitality. I think he will come back into the team again straight away. On the opposite side, Florian Wirtz, well, he should again have probably had a goal against Marseille. For me, that was one of his, I don't want to say his poorer games for us, but his touch was a little bit off them, backing him to return to form. And I'm going to say that he grabs a goal and an assist in this one. And then, of course, Dominic Szoboszlai to the centre. So that brings us to up top, where it should be fairly straightforward where we're going here, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, it will be Hugo Ekitike up top. And I know that there is no place for Cody Gakpo in that 11. But again, like I've mentioned, McAllister not in there either. These are the guys that I think we can rest up and put in against Qarabağ on the following Wednesday to make sure that we cement our place inside not just the top 8, but the top 4, it looks like, in the Champions League phase. So that is my 11, ladies and gentlemen, to take on Bournemouth at the Vitality. Alisson Becker in goal, right back Frimpong, left back Kirke, centre back pairing of Gomez and your captain Virgil van Dijk. Then in midfield of Ryan Gravenberch, Curtis Jones and Dominic Szoboszlai, with Mohamed Salah, Florian Wirtz and Hugo Ekitike. Now, of course, we're not trying to suggest that that is absolutely the formation. We are just using it for illustrative purposes. So maybe a 4-2-3-1, it could be a 4-3-3, it could be any formation that the manager wants to go with. But that is the 11 and the way, if I look, that would be my formation for what it's worth. But that is the 11 that I would go with. Now, we need to talk score predictions, right? Will the Reds go and get another victory? Will we continue to push up that Premier League table? Well, do you know what, ladies and gentlemen? I'm going to say, yes, we will, but I don't think it's going to be easy. I'm predicting Liverpool to go to Bournemouth, beat the Cherries by 2-1, and I'm going to say we're going to be talking about Hugo Ekitike and a Mohamed Salah goal with a Florian Wirtz and, let's say, Jones assist. I'm going to mix it up a little bit. So that is my prediction pretty much for this one. As I mentioned, do let us know your thoughts on the starting 11 and, of course, the score prediction. The games are coming thick and fast now for the Reds. We've got this one, then a midweek game against Qarabağ in the Champions League. But next Saturday, 8 p.m. kickoff, Newcastle rock up to Anfield. So as we've mentioned, these are huge games in Arne Slot's era and will probably determine his long-term future as well. We do know that the transfer window is going to slam shut in about 9 days, so it will be interesting to see if the Reds can add to their ranks between now and the close of the transfer window. But we appreciate you coming and joining us, and a reminder, we'll be live from 4:15, an hour and 15 minutes beforehand this weekend. We're going to have a news video out late that night as well. Connor will have a news video earlier in the morning on Saturday to keep you right up to date, and we'll take you through with our watch-along, our match reaction and our player ratings video as well. Folks, there's loads for you to go through in the comments, so do let me know your thoughts. And as I said, thank you so much for coming along and joining us today. We want you to sign up to the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp as well to make sure that you can submit your player ratings, and our giveaways that we'll be doing with the Collector's Corner, well, they'll also be going through the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp, and you can join that by scanning the QR code in the bottom right hand corner or by using the link in the description of this video. That is it for me for now, ladies and gents. Much love, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.